So here we are with episode 20 of the Apothecary Diaries. Last episode, Maomao got whacked in the face by a metal club, and I would presume that she's going to come out of that with minor injuries, and she's gonna be very much okay. Consider that she saved somebody of high status, so, you know, hopefully they're gonna give her some high status treatment. Somewhere in my head, I'm just over here thinking that maybe Maomao is going to wake up and she's going to be like, you know that guy that I saved? Look a lot like Jinshi. You know what? I don't want to bother unless Jinshi's just going to go, you know, straight out with it. But we'll just have to see what's going to happen in this episode. If you guys like the video, like the video. If you dislike it, dislike it. I do have my full length up on Patreon and early access on the YouTube memberships. Other than that, let us get started. Oh, here she is, covered in bandage. She'll be fine. Like, she figured that out just by scent. Alright, she's been in this room enough time. Oh. Ooh, 15 stitches. Better here than at the infirmary. Does that mean the infirmary just sucks? Like, or is it just simply too far away? And, you know, he had to walk. Exactly! He saved his fucking life! Well, let me recount you my story. The fire and some... Okay. Wait, weren't you there, Basin? That's the first second there. Who else found out besides the other metalworker? Yeah, unless they're... But... Yeah. Yeah. You would have been out of a job. Goes right back into, no, I can't know about this. No, thinking back about her. Because she's... No, I guess they slapped the fucking metal clubs slapped the conspiracy out of you. Oh, Suirei. Uh-oh, she got caught. What? What if she just revived herself, huh? Could be a thing that's like causes temporary death. Some Hitman shit right there. I mean, it'd be so much easier to just pin blame on someone, just one person in particular, and to just stop thinking about it. Right after she says, it's got nothing to do with me, gets brought right back in. Damn, she looked at her just limping, running. Hiding her. Her dad's gonna be like, I told you, this is why we don't let you... Look. He's now sticking with her in case she gets in trouble. I knew it. Oh, that guy. Oh, okay. So she says I'm pining morning glories. Is there nothing, or... No, it's just somebody else. That's why they chose you specifically? Yeah, and then she fucking sat up! You've been exploited. You didn't think to cut open her corpse. Damn. Oh, I guess because her leg hurts. Goes back to sitting on the chair. Okay. They've been showing that face a little bit more of Suirei. To find out her see this character, huh? Mm-hmm. She's having an evil laugh. Pardon me. She have to get through her evil monologue first. Oh, Loulan, we haven't seen you in fucking forever. Oh, she's gonna continue drinking her tea. Alright, still nothing from her. Still no dialogue. 24-year-old man. Wow! Have another grandchild. Wow. So is Bassin? Yeah, I was like, damn, Bassin's getting ready to... Oh, thanks for the confirmation of his age. I like to have to spend time with my grandchild. Let me retire, Jinshi, please. Who is this? He doesn't find her very appealing. Huh. Huh. So this is Loulan? What? Previous. Okay. Good. Alright, I'm gonna have to look at this all over again. What? It's like walking over the bridge of life. Or the afterlife, technically. He just needs to make himself. Oh, tired? Yeah, what happened? Is she pregnant again? Like... Oh. This goes right back to Gokuyo. Good. Get to taste more poison. Worth cracking the whip on. No definite evidence. He's more than just. A quirky girl. A Loulan. Okay. Uh-oh. Who's getting bought out? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, the last person that we kind of saw, that's kind of like, once I actually figure out where the hell I put all these goddamn names, and Maomao, that's what it is, Maomao. I was thinking, is it Maomao? That somebody bought her out? Alright, that is a preview. did I just get spoiled on the preview? Alright, well, I mean, consider that, you know, we also saw Lee Haku, you know, could also mean, what can I currently? I only remember Mei Mei and Joka for right now. Joka! Paiden. Okay. Look, we've got 2 hints that it could either be Paiden or Mei Mei. But hey, you know what? If Joka gets bought out by somebody who's really nice, good for her. But alright, I'm going to write some notes and we will be right back to the center. Okay, so we got this part where one of the ladies in waiting goes up to Loulan to whisper in her ears, and then Loulan just continues drinking her tea. I was sort of like, what, is Jinshi coming? Or like, is one of the emperor coming or whatever? You know, she's just like, gotta get in my new outfit, you know? So the 24-year-old man who became a eunuch when the rear palace became the current emperors 5 years ago. Okay. 5 years ago, that's when the current emperor took over for the previous emperor. And that's why the Empress Dowager is still alive. Okay. Bison is ready to get married to Bison. Damn, bro. Man's getting ready to marry at the age of 19. Alright. Okay. Okay, that is Loulan. Like, when she came out like this, I'm just over here like, who is this Westerner? And why is she here? Like, why are they talking to this woman? You know, like, we're in a fucking Western fantasy, like some medieval shit suddenly. Okay, so that's... Okay, that's Loulan talking finally. But like, I just didn't expect her to talk for this entire series, that when she did talk, I didn't even know that she did. The Emperor visits her often, but apparently doesn't find her very appealing. Very fashionable, changing her hairstyle, makeup often. Can't tell who she is every time he visits her and gets confused. The Emperor's just like, who is this woman? You know what? If the Emperor was actually into, you know, other shit that isn't vanilla, he probably would have been really excited about this though shit, you know? A little bit of role-playing, you know? Visits her once every 10 days. Father is an important, high-ranking official who was the previous Empress Dowager's favorite. My god, okay. Lacking appeal, at least she was similar. The current emperor despises his predecessor's taste for young girls. Honestly, good for the emperor, you know? Like, yeah, he doesn't intend to lay a finger on her. Good! But, like, we're also thinking about, like, okay, that's fine if, like, yeah, as long as she's a child, you're not gonna touch her, but, like, what if she grows up to the appropriate... Anyways... Okay, the Empress Dowager who gave birth to the current emperor when she was just a girl because of the previous emperor's liking on younger. Okay, so she gave birth to another child, so it's supposed to be the son, 10 odd years later. At the time, Dante spent all his time, and so the birth took place without an issue, and so this is the same thing that we're talking about with Abdul, right, as she was, which is it was a speculation on Maomao's end on the birth switching, but I believe Jinshi here at this part kind of implies it as well. But concubine Adu, who gave birth around the same time, the doctor got taken away, and so she lost her uterus. Yeah, received no attention in resolve the loss of her uterus. And then the current emperor's firstborn child was lost soon after. And then they show this reflection, which, you know, again, could be them walking the bridge of the afterlife. Passing over to the afterlife, I mean. If that child had survived, and then we just go right back up to where, like, the land of the living is. If that child had survived, no, it's just a silly delusion. He just needs to make himself a new prince. Is he talking about he as in the emperor? Or he as in himself, Jinshi? Right? If that, because he's talking about, like, you know, current emperor's firstborn. Wait, no. the current emperor's firstborn, that's Abdul's. God, at this point, I just want to know the emperor's name so I can have at least a fucking idea. And like, because like whenever they go into this whole fucking talk about like the previous emperor, the empress dowager, the current emperor. Okay, no, the current emperor's firstborn, so that's supposed to be Jinshi, if we're going with Maomao's theory anyways, right? So the first child was lost if the child had survived, and then he says, no, that's just a silly delusion. Okay, that's why they're showcasing this part, because it's supposed to be Jinshi. All right, I kept thinking it was the what was the name? I currently can't remember what the name is. The firstborn of, not the firstborn, the secondborn. It's the prince of the Empress Dowager. Okay, so he says if that child had survived, no, that's just a silly delusion. So I guess he's talking specifically, not to the emperor or anything, he's talking specifically to that child, which could possibly be him, right? Abdul's child, saying that he just needs to make himself a new prince. No, actually, that's still the empress. No, that would still be the emperor, the current emperor, right? All right, I'm overthinking this. I'm gonna go with him referencing this as, it could be references both too, you know, if I really want to overthink it. But I'm just gonna go with the simpler approach, which is him saying that it's the emperor who can just make a new prince if he so wishes. Because like the next thing that we head on over, right after him saying make himself a new prince, is that it's Gokuyo's is potentially pregnant. You know, from all that banging out there, guy's more than just a lewd middle-aged guy. Perhaps, you know, I mean, in the end, like the thing that he wants to pass down is his legacy. So, but you know, if he actually genuinely loves his kid down the way, that's totally fine too. Okay, this part was a little confusing to me at first, because I was like, who's this quirky girl that they're talking about? Right, when, well, Maomao, right, because she's talking about the emperor with concubine Abdul gone as the trusted advisor and replaced by a quirky girl who could cause political issues as well. The quirky girl got me, because I still hadn't really registered at the time, even though they showcased it, but I just couldn't register it that it was Loulan who's the quirky girl. So, like, it's someone that he can't ignore, but it would cause trouble if she birthed the child as well. So yeah, it all just sounds like a headache for the emperor at the current moment. Man, unfortunately, had to take away Abdul, but... Alright, so that was episode 20 of the Apothecary Diaries. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments down below. You know that I always like talking to you guys. For me, I thought that this was a pretty nice episode. We've got, in the beginning, right, Maomao waking up, having 15 stitches on her. She'll be fine, right? She discussed this with Maomao and Gaoshen and Basen, and basically goes through all the things that she figured out in the last episode. The one thing that I kind of didn't really think about, because initially I was just thinking, like, the metal workers. Just like there's you know, with like the death of the master metal workers, and there's only the apprentice left, right? The production of said metal stuff was going to be a little bit slower, but no, it's they were talking about the secret that the metal worker had, and not throughout all of these, only 2 of them that we kind of saw so far. 2 of them was kind of being laid out to Maomao by Loulan. So like, but like there's also that chance that Loulan isn't in a part of this plan, you know, he kind of just figures that there's something like this happening, because, you know, he's a strategist and he's a genius and all that. Well, I don't know about genius, but he's intelligent. He's crafty, so like perhaps he figured that out, and like it's not specifically his plan. He's just out here leading Maomao on over to, leading her with breadcrumbs on over to this big conspiracy that is trying to murderize Jinshi out here, which is an understandable thing on why he's so shooketh when he saw Maomao being brought out unconscious and bleeding and shit. You know, he didn't really expect this. He didn't expect her to get hurt, right? He kind of just maybe he just expected her to be a little late, who knows, or maybe she just you know, get this guy on out of here, nothing bad happens or whatever. But it didn't go that way, and so that's why Loulan was shooketh and whatnot. So there's that whole spiel, right? That Loulan might have not been a part of the plan. He's just giving breadcrumbs because he's just that guy. You know, instead of just straight out saying it, he's just that guy. Oh yeah, and in this moment, after Maomao explains all the things that she finds, she looks over to Jinshi and she thinks yet again, this guy, I didn't expect him to be at the ceremony. You know, the guy in front of the ceremony, the person that they're trying to kill and all that, he must be really high up or something. I shouldn't be thinking about it. Thinking about it, it'll only get me killed, you know, it'll get me in more trouble. As Maomao was planning on forgetting about all of this, especially forgetting about Suirei and all these other mystery shit, you know, they can do that themselves. She's not a part of this conspiracy or this plan or whatever, you know, she just happens to find it. Whatever, now that it's done, it's done. But she gets pulled right back in when Basen tells her that Suirei was found dead. And as they head on over to the morgue over here, and then they check the box where her corpse is supposed to be, her corpse was gone, replaced by something else. And so here we hear the explanation on how Suirei could have done this in the first place, the fact that she had and also the fact that Suirei was testing Maomao, since perhaps, you know, Suirei, from what we learned from Jinshi, is that Suirei was brought in by a teacher who I would assume is like an apothecary too, since she has knowledge of medicine and poison. She got brought in, and the teacher also had adopted her, but they don't really have much of a background history on her, so like they don't really know who she is before she became a court lady. So, you know, Suirei's mystery is still up there. We just have to figure out where the heck she is, but also she probably didn't do this alone. She just happens to be the most prominent figure at the current moment with Maomao's leads anyways. So that's why she had to do the whole death thing in order to run away and, you know, hide her identity. And perhaps in this case with Suirei, since she has been flaunting around as a court lady, they would probably expect a dude. Right? They would probably expect they would expect a woman, but then because she is androgynous, I would assume she's now going to go under a more masculine, a masculine look. We'll just have to see. I mean, Maomao did also say, like, oh, she probably dresses as one of them, yeah, which could probably say that she dresses as a dude, so then that could also put them on a lead for her identity, but we'll just have to see when we find Suirei. Did I say Sweden at some point? Anyway, Suirei. Again, with Suirei testing Maomao, saying that she was going to plant morning glories, when in actuality it was actually thorn apples, which just so happens to look like morning glories, and that they're a powerful poison that can be used as anesthetic if used properly, and that, you know, the pharmacy stocks a lot of them. And then with the doctor here, she was getting into a good relationship with him, and basically used him, exploited him, as Maomao says, because he was the one who examined her body, and since he didn't want to cut up her body to, you know, to see what the poison that killed her was, he decided to leave her untouched, which, it's a morgue, my guy. It's supposed to be cutting people up. At that point, then Suirei probably would have been dead. But, I mean, it doesn't look like they're out here draining blood or anything, so, you know, it's still old stuff. I don't know if they do that. Anyways, you know, I know that that's what it's done now in modern times. Anywho, yeah, this guy, he's got exploited. He didn't touch her body. Suirei ends up walking out of the coffin like nothing happened. You know, she died. They made sure. Even the doctor, he said he made sure that she was dead. You know, no heartbeat, no nothing. But then she just revives and just sits up from the coffin and just walks on out like she's Jesus. So this is coming from Maomao's assumptions that there's a whole rescue crew that came on over, opened up her corpse, and then replaced her corpse with somebody else, right? And then she got in there, she woke up, and then she dresses like one of them in order to get the hell on out of there. So there's that whole spiel of her not working alone and that there are people. I mean, if she wasn't working alone, how was she get out of the coffin, right? If they fucking drilled it into drilled the fucking door into the damn board, into the damn box. Goddamn English, what are they? But at the end of all this, Maomao's got a wicked smile, got a wicked laugh coming, you know, she's like laughing like a fucking evil mad scientist or something, because she wants Suirei captured, but not to kill her. She wants Suirei to teach her how to make the drug that can revive people, because here she is seeing that Suirei was able to do it. She died, and then she revived. And, you know, when they were talking about all of this, all I could think about was specifically Hitman Blood Money. I think it's the last mission that you do, if I remember correctly, right? It's such a famous scene. That's the only word I wanted to say some other word that isn't famous, but it's a scene that a lot of people would remember, would recognize, and such, right? The scene in the funeral. And, like, that's the type of drug that they kind of put on Agent 47 to make it look like he was dead. And then people are attending his funeral. God, that's a good mission. Remember I remember thinking about how horrible it is, right? Where, like, you fucking get up and you just kill everybody. But, like, you'd kill everybody except for the target that you're supposed to kill. And if I remember correctly, he's a dude on a wheelchair, wasn't he? Which is so funny, because, like, once you kill all the guards, he's just a dude in a wheelchair, just, guards! Anyways, people who don't know Hitman Blood Money is gonna hear that and just gonna be like, what the fuck? Moving away from that, we've got a little bit more of Jinshi, as he talks about how he is actually, well, it was Gaoshin who says it, but, you know, Jinshi is 19, trying to act 24. And the whole disguise is that he's this 24-year-old man who became a eunuch once the current emperor took over the rear palace 5 years ago. And he's, surprise, surprise, not actually a eunuch, but he drinks a specific serum that suppresses his manhood, and as Gaoshin says, if he keeps taking it, he will become impotent eventually, and then he will just become like a eunuch. We also learned that Gaoshin's got kids. We kind of did have that sort of connection between him and Basen, just from the way that Maomao looked at him, because, like, she's just like, the way he sighs looks so much like Gaoshin. So it is confirmed that Basen is Gaoshin's son. But Gaoshin's got other kids who are also adults. Basen's just the youngest, and he's got a grandkid on the way, which is, like, great for him, you know? And I love that. He's just over like, Jinshi, you know, you're 19 now. You better start finding a wife and settle down or some shit instead of doing all whatever you're doing right now. I wanna at least spend time with my grandkids, alright? Which, by the way, I remember some people who are just out here shipping Maomao and Gaoshin together, and I'm just over like, ooh. And now I'm finding out that he's got kids, and I would assume a wife. Where else is he gonna pop these kids out of nowhere? I'm just like, ah. But through Jinshi, we get to learn a little bit more about Loulan, the girl who is just out here never saying anything, except when she's right next to the Emperor and and Jinshi. I suppose, you know, that's the two important people that she knows that she needs to talk to, which also kind of makes me think back about the first time that we saw her and the way that she looked a little surprised, perhaps, when she looked at Jinshi, or Maomao talking to Jinshi, or both, whichever one. You know, perhaps that's why she's a little surprised that, like, somebody low-ranked is talking to Jinshi. Who knows? Who knows? Especially talking casually to Jinshi? Who knows? Who knows? Or Jinshi talking to her? So, it makes me think about that as well, but the fact that she doesn't fucking say shit, but when she does, she's, like, in cosplay. She's just out here like, yeah, you know, these are all... She's very fashionable, right? Changing her hairstyle and makeup often. And because of that, the current emperor doesn't find her appealing because, well, she changes so often that he gets confused and he doesn't know who she is. Which, again, like I said, you know, if the emperor wasn't such a vanilla man. However, Loulan's father is an important high-ranking official. I don't know if we've seen his face before, but I feel like we have, but at the same time, I can't tell. Anyways, yeah, he's an important high-ranking official who was the previous Empress Dowager's favorite. So because of that, he feels pressured, or he has to visit her often. He visits her every 10 days, but he doesn't find her very appealing, and from the way that Maomao says it, is that feels like it's a big headache for the Emperor, because his trusted advisor Adu is now gone, right? His best friend, essentially, is now gone. And now he has to deal with this quirky girl who could potentially be a political political problem for him. You know, she's a landmine out here. Well, in other news, Gokuyo might be pregnant. Great for her, you know. Hopefully this one will be a son, you know, an heir to his empire and whatnot. We'll just have to see. I mean, it's gonna take another 9 months if she is pregnant. And Maomao is moved back to the rear palace in order to take care of her, but also it's Jinshi's way to protect her, since men aren't allowed in the rear palace unless they're eunuchs, and I mean, her Lakan isn't a eunuch, so he can't be in there. And then we've got the preview of what's to happen next, which is one of the 3 princesses is being bought out. Who of the 3, right? Mei, Paiden, Joka? I'm kind of leaning more towards Mei and Paiden, mainly because of what they showcase. It's probably Paiden if they're going to show Lee Haku here as well, but you know, maybe Lee Haku is going to assume it's Paiden, but it's somebody else. But we've been kind of, honestly, we've been kind of getting a little bit more screen time of Mei and Paiden. We don't really have much of Joka, so like if they do wanna, you know, flip the script and all that and put it on Joka, who's the one who's getting bought out, and like showcasing a little bit more of her before she just fucking vanishes. I don't know. All I know is that if these princesses are gonna get bought out, I just want them to get bought out by good people, but honestly, the chances of that. But anyways, I wish them for a good life and all that shite, you know, do a good little retirement, and I don't know, have a good life. I was gonna say something else, but I was just like, let's not. All right, that's pretty much all I have to say for this episode. It's just a lot of setups. I think that's what it feels like for this episode. We're setting a lot of stuff. We're setting stuff up with Loulan. We're setting stuff up with Gokuyo, the 3 princesses, with Suirei and all that. So we'll just have to see what all of this accumulates to. But if I have anything else to say, I will write it in the description down below. Thank you guys for sticking around, and I will see you guys in the next episode.